Absolutely. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports.
Okay, Larry, we are... The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is fielded at the goal line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback. They'll drop to throw. He finds an opening past the 40. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Fresh set of downs here. He'll look to throw, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Second down to the offense, needing 5 yards. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
An extra DB added here for the Cards on third.
Blitzer play coverage.
A play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's got some space here. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. The offense lining up 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
So the D gets the sack on first, and now it brings up second down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
Will the defense dial up the pressure? Let's see. 3rd and 11. They're going to look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
1st and goal, Kelly. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Second and goal. They still need 8 yards to find the end zone. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all.
And he's going to go down, sacked right around the 17.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
On now, it's Blair Walsh as he'll try the field goal here. From the left hash, this from 34. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points. But they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6". To throw here. Over the middle, he finds Henderson, complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Don't forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football. A nickel look by Seattle on third down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Man, this is up and good to make it 7-3. That time, a 9-play drive. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
They always that changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain. So much of the game today We're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A pickup of 5 that time and a 1st down.
Pretty heavy traffic over the middle on that one, and somehow he emerged with the football. Way to possess it, despite all the extra contact and people around him.
Now bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And this is recovered by the Cardinals. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And time now for the Seahawk defense to take their spots again on the field. And a touchdown given up the last time they were out there, so maybe need to refocus a little bit.
And make sure that they don't start finger pointing with each other, because oftentimes when a touchdown's given up, you say, okay, where did that happen? Who broke down? Who gave it up? Instead, just go back out there, be a unit again, and try and play a little bit better.
Yeah, see if they can play a little bit better on this drive. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Unable to connect on the 1st down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. 1st level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Play fake. He'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. The decision to go for it pays off, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
We know it's tough enough to pick up 1st downs on 3rd down plays, but when you go for it on 4th down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. Down this close to the goal line. First down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Here we go. 3-19.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line.
And on second and goal, they decide to throw it again, and this result is even worse. They take a sack. On first down, it was simply an incomplete pass. Not a good first two plays, beginning with first and goal.
Fullback try and push the pile. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal.
And sometimes it doesn't matter how big and strong and powerful you are. The defense is going to win an occasional battle, and they did on that one. Stopped him well short of picking up a first down.
On to try the field goal now, Phil Dawson. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Dawson's kick is good. An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach, but it kept the offense out of the end zone.
And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
When we talk with people about what we think the most important quality for an NFL quarterback to possess, what do people usually say?
Arm strength, and he showed the arm strength there.
Yeah, pretty good bullet pass he threw, but he wasn't accurate, was he?
No.
Listen, you like mobility, but accuracy, first and foremost, is what a quarterback needs. He didn't possess it on that play.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Green, 39.
Back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So on 4th down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
No gain on the play there. Second down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One of the selling points of the end route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
But we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit. But how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations. And we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. And he'll give it here to his running back. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. The other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play.
The pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Now back to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Henderson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll go as just a 15-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. A good pickup there, 26 yards. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw now on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Rice. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in the bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Kelly. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And now a first down following that long gain. They'll look to throw again. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. It's their quarterback. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, where they want to let their return guy touch it.
And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
In a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
This one maybe not. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Cardinals on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. So we have reached halftime here in a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we send you across the country to Orlando, standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. Let's look back now at this closely contested first half. As we look at the numbers, the only thing that really matters is that we've got a tie game. We'll have another half here to figure out who can come out on top. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Hit to late in the first. The pass will be completed into coverage, and it'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 37-yard line. Cardinals now later on the drive. The connection will be made from the gun. And this goes 20 yards for the score. They're now on top by 4. Seahawks on 1st and 5. He'll head outside to the right on the run, and this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. The Seahawks tied up at 10.
Okay, thank you, Larry. A low-scoring affair, all even, as we ready for this second half. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They go play action here on first down. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henderson. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They'll set up to throw. And this is incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Henderson. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. So they're operating in the red zone. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. Tie game, but they'll get excellent starting field position here to begin the second half.
And it's the starting field position that makes an offensive coordinator maybe bolder than normal. Maybe you want to take the big shot right now, go for a big play and get their attention early, or even just run your offense because you feel good about where you are and a chance to move the ball downfield.
Yeah, maybe they go for the big play. Time to find out. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll go again with Kelly. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. How about that? Their quarterback, his second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. And his kick is right through. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And that should give his guys a spark. He's up all the way to the 44-yard line.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. Now a handoff here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal touching. Offense.
Ouch. Could have been a game-tying touchdown. They'll have to hold on that at least for now.
Ouch in a big way. Like ripping the Band-Aid off there. Can they let the sting subside and come back and get it done?
And Dawson's kick is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
Now after the made field goal, here's Dawson back out now to send this one away on the kickoff. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Henderson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And to give this time to the tailback. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That defensive front four has been very good. They have just not let the running game get going, have they?
Not at all. In fact, the entire offense just looking a little bit out of sync in this one.
Yeah, sometimes this is why coaches like 4-down defensive linemen. They feel like they can cover more ground when defending the run.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
On third down, it's Cross, and they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. And Dawson's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So that one is his third of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, what, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Now, after the made field goal, here's Dawson back out now to send this one away on the kickoff. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They'll start on the ground with Kelly. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. They'll keep it in the hands of Kelly. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop it. On play action, they'll throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. And this ball is going to be touched down just shy of midfield. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he rifles one incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Going to give this time to the tailback. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back back now in Seattle, Washington. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. The Cardinals on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. He'll drop to throw, and he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. And this one's incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
So the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Finds a tight end in the middle of the field. Just a simple stick route. Decent gain. Doesn't get you a whole lot, but it's pretty reliable, isn't it?
And tough to defend. They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
Let's go.
Back to throw again. And he fires one incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Second down following the incompletion. They'll look to throw here. And some space here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive they went 3 and out.
Looking to throw. His throw incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw here. And some room to maneuver. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Now let's go. 3-19.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. So 2nd and 10 here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And there was a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And that will cut the lead down to just 2. All right, so this one's now back within a field goal. And if anybody tells you they see how this one's going to end, I'd have to say they're probably lying, Charles.
And this game's had more twists and turns than a good mystery novel. And I have a feeling we've got a few more twists and turns in store for us before they shake hands here.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go.
A handoff as they run the counter play. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Throwing right, and that's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. Time running out here on the play clock. Oh, they come after him, and it's blocked. It's picked up, and this is a live ball, remember. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. The Raiders there have opened a 2-touchdown advantage. If they can hold on, the win would be number 8 for them on the campaign.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
And the lead is up to 5. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And let's see what the defensive coordinator may have up his sleeve here to try to get this final last stand and win this football game. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's third down. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. Around 2 minutes to go, and if the D can hold them, that'll end this one.
We always think about the offense attacking. In this case, I'm looking for the defense to do the same.
He'll look to throw, and this is going to be incomplete. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Second and 5. That one looks like he'll throw here. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Now let's go. Blue Landy. Blue Landy.
Now back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And that'll push the lead up to 8. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Back to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football. Incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
They'll look to throw, and that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear that the Seahawks are going to win this football game. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down. And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here, fourth down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. The Seahawks on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it? It was, and the people who really enjoyed this game, they're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one. So for the Seahawks, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, this season is beyond salvage now as they fall to 2-10. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.